Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dartmouth High School, where tonight the New Bedford Cable Network is proud to present boys high school volleyball action. It's the South Section Tournament and quarterfinal round action between Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, the home team, and Brockton. Joe Cabral joined by Chris Santos at the Carlin Lynch Center in Dartmouth at Dartmouth High School, where Voc-Tech is taking on Brockton, teams that split during the regular season. Coming into the tournament, it was Voc-Tech, the 4 seed, Brockton, the 5 seed. Identical records, Chris, and during the regular season, as I mentioned, they split, so this should be a good one.
And both teams winning on the road, Joe. That's pretty impressive as well, as Voc went to Brockton, took them 3 games to 1 and 3 sets to 1 up in Brockton, and then Brockton returned the favor later on in the season at Voc, beating Voc in their home court 3 sets to 2. We are in Dartmouth because it should have been a home game for Voc, being a quarterfinal match, but with some electrical problems over at Voc for the next couple of weeks, they had to find another school to do it. Dartmouth says we'll host you, and that's why we're here at the Carlin Lynch Center.
Yeah, beautiful facility, and it should be a good one, as I mentioned. Overhauling the electrical system at Voc-Tech, so for a few days they're totally dark there, and that's why we're here at the Carlin Lynch Center. Teams coming into this one with identical records of 12-4. That's a .750 winning percentage. Voc-Tech the 4 seed, and Brockton the 5 seed. Brockton will be in their road black with white numerals and white and red trim. Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech in their home gold with green numerals and green and white trim. Head coach for Brockton, longtime head coach, Chris, someone you're very familiar with, Jack Olson.
Yep, that's true, too. He's been there for a long time, and Richie Gomes, who can see kind of limpering there with a knee brace on, so we'll see how much movement he can do. But we're underway in set number 1.
On the outside, that's Guaman, William Guaman. Voc-Tech is there. That was Gomes. They get it to Castillo Jr., and it was wide.
Yep.
So Castillo Jr. went cross court, went wide, and first point of the match goes to Brockton.
Good setup from Voc, just could not finish from Castillo, who we saw was very important against BC High in their first round win.
This is number 9, Aiden Froyo, serving for Brockton. On the outside, blocked there. It was Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, Nunez Lara, but a violation was called against Brockton. So point to Voc-Tech, we're tied at 1.
Miranda into the net, number 14, Raphael, and he gets called, and we are tied at 1.
There's Fagundes serving for Voc-Tech. Guaman on the outside. Tried to go down the line, and he was into the net, Chris.
It was. Official right on it. Again, Joe, just 2 officials. Usually see a little bit with the end lines, but not today.
You'd have to presume it's related to COVID and availability of officials. Another point to Voc-Tech here. That's a service ace that'll be credited to number 14, Fagundes. And it's 3-1 Voc-Tech.
Interesting for Gundy's weight on the left side, Joe.
He's kind of continued to do that, Chris. He had serving problems early in the season, and that's another service ace for Fagundes. He was putting balls out, and then he seemed to switch to the far left side of the floor. We've seen him there the last few matches. That jump serve and then topspin action, and that time not enough, and the ball was out, so point to Brockton. That's what we had been seeing from Ethan a bit too much. Serves that were long. He's been controlling that. That time it goes long, so point to Brockton. This is Miranda, Rafael Miranda, number 14, serving for Brockton. Middle of the floor, tip from Castillo Jr. Gomes set for Delalue, but not a good strike there from Delalue. That's Guaman. Castillo Jr. And Gomes to the outside, and a ball long, Chris, from Abdul Jared Laguerre.
Yeah, now I don't know if that's nerves, but we didn't see that the other night against BC High. He was hitting everything, and that one there, I know he was contested, but nothing that he should have really worried about. That was an easy set and an easy put away that they should have won.
Oh, a bad pass there by Fagundes. He'll just play it over. Chance here for Brockton, middle of the floor, and the kill was good. Didn't catch the number there, Chris. I don't know if it was Froyo, number 9.
Whichever way it was, it's tied up at 4, and we thought Voc had dominated the first 6 points, but now Brockton getting the last 2 on a couple of mistakes from the Bears.
Miranda serving, and then Castillo Jr. that time hammered it off the blocker, number 13, Lucas Pyers, for the kill. So Voc-Tech back out in front, 5-4.
Sometimes, Joe, you know, when you've played a team for a rubber match, you try to make things too fine and too perfect, the putaways. And we've seen a couple of them from the Bears.
There's a back set for Guaman. Guaman.
That's a perfect example right there. I mean, not a great set close to the net, back off, put the ball back and play deep and see what happens next time.
That was well out. So that was a good 4 feet out. So again, you're just trying to do too much.
Good serve.
Delalu with a nice serve there. Voc-Tech is there. That's Laguerre. Was not set up perfectly, so just playing it safely. And then a violation is called against Brockton. Again, striking the ball not simultaneously with both hands, so as a result, it's 2 hits. And here's Delalu.
3 in a row for him.
7-4. Voc-Tech. That's Guaman. And again, Chris, well out by Guaman. And that was down the third base line. You were unable to dive and keep it. It was in fair territory, but you tried to handle that down the third base line and went down the line for a 2-bagger.
I got to stop on it, though, Joe, so he's only held for a single.
Yeah, you had to use your bare hand.
So it must have been a Voc player into the net because they gave it to Brockton.
Yep, here's Guaman. That ball was well out, so no need for it. We've seen a lot of unforced errors here early on.
Into the net.
I think the strike into the net. Pyers, again, on the follow-through, hitting the net, Chris. So a lot of, most of the points here so far are not points that have been won, but points that have been given away.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the scenario of this 13 points that have gone on so far. It's whoever's making the most mistakes right now.
On the outside, that was the first strike from DePina, Julio DePina. Again, Laguerre could not put one away that time. And then a nice strike there from Tommy Pham.
Smallest guy on the floor.
And he was able to be on the outside there and strike it well and be credited with a kill.
Sure was, and he'll go right to the service line.
Oh, knuckling serve there, good serve. Gomes will set to the outside. Laguerre had to go with the left hand on a tip. Voc-Tech will just play it up high, and Nunez Lara played it over. Nunez Lara blocked there, but I think into the net, yep. Yes. Ethan Nunez Lara. So point to Brockton, 8-7 now Voc-Tech.
Gotta eliminate the errors and the mistakes. Both teams feeling each other out. Right, 15 points, and boy, I'll tell you, they've been both doing it.
There it goes, down the line. That time it hit the foul pole.
Got a glove on it, though, Joe.
Yeah, it was, that was hard because that one kind of deflected off the bag. 9-7 Voc-Tech, and Chris, virtually, I mean, I have here Voc-Tech credited with a couple kills, maybe. Same for Brockton, and that's it. Everything else is mistakes.
Yep.
And again, ball put into the net by Brockton.
That was Pyers that time, who will get credited.
But look, so Pyers will get credited there for the kill. Middle of the floor. Laguerre just, again, well out. Uncharacteristic mistakes here from many of the key players for both squads. Tied up at 9 now. Castillo Jr. on the outside, Fagundes. And the ball was out. So point to Voc-Tech.
I think Brockton was trying to find a way to catch him sleeping on that one. But good eyes from the Bears, and they let it drop, and they have a 1-point lead.
Here's Nunez Lara. Ball on the outside. Oh, and that was a nice strike that time from Rafael Miranda, his first kill of the match.
Good size on Miranda, went to the outside. Came back to the middle as checking in is number 1, Cody Raposa. Checking out is Nunez Lara. And serving is Canuto Dapina.
That's Gomes to Fagundes on the outside. Had to go with a tip. Not a good set there from Gomes, who has not been on his
Not on the
passing.
A game right now.
Not on the A game at all. And again,
There's
more of
another
these tips. Ball not set up properly at all. And blocked there. There's Laguerre. And then middle of the floor that time, Delalue got a nice set from Gomes.
Well, finally, you know, you had to figure it was going to happen sooner or later, and the Bears finally got one from Gomes, who's been trying most. Watch how quick this one is and how thunderous that was. And that really got the bench up out of their chairs. See if it carries over.
A nice block there. Delalue was at the net with Fagundes.
I think it was Fagundes that got it. Will be credited with that. That's 2 in a row for the Bears.
12-10 Voc-Tech.
Just need a little spark to keep them up and eliminate some of these unforced errors from both teams.
Alberto Gomes on the outside, Guaman. That time they set up Castillo Jr. perfectly.
Yeah, but a good block by Miranda, and it will fall in, and Brockton will win the point.
So even though he was set perfectly, the block came cross court, and the point to Brockton.
Yeah, that's impressive from Brockton because that's a back set, Joe. Usually a lot of teams don't do that.
That was Castillo just playing it over safely that time. On the outside for Fagundes, that time he was set up nicely and put it away. So Ethan Fagundes with 2 aces, a block, and now a kill. 13-11 Voc-Tech, and Ethan Fagundes will be on the service line. Nice serve there by Fagundes, right off the tape. That's Guaman on the outside, could not put it away. That's Castillo Jr. He was set up perfectly.
Nobody there either. That's the key. No help. Brockton did not read that one. But Fagundes with a perfect pass, gets it to Gomes, and then the put away.
Oh, nice serve there by Fagundes, dipping right as it went over the tape. That's Alberto Gomes. A bump there from Raposa, and then Voc-Tech plays it over. Guaman on the outside, nothing on that shot. Now Laguerre, oh, nice dig there by Pham.
Yeah. Best point of the match right now.
Castillo Jr. went with a tip, but there again, Brockton, DePina. That was Pyers. On the outside, Laguerre cut it, kept the point alive. Best point, as Chris mentioned, of the match by a lot. That's Fagundes. Laguerre on the outside. Brockton is there. Delalue, finally, they put it away.
Well,
overpass.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they go with the dig with number 7, Canuto Dapina, and he just puts it too much right to the net. It's an easy put away for Delalue. And the best point, as you said, Joe, and I think the Bears have played better than Brockton right now.
This last stretch.
Yeah, this last stretch, they've been solid.
And you put the old announcer's jinx on Fagundes. Like Tommy and Mike Gorman have tried to do for years to the opponents on the free throw line. Into the net. Miranda gives the point right back to Voc-Tech.
And that's their first service mistake. Voc has 2. As Raposa checks out.
Nunez Lara back in.
Rotation. Good serve.
Delalue on the outside. Oh, blocked there by Castillo Jr., but it ended up staying on his side of the floor and wide, so point to Brockton. Beautiful facility here, the Carlin Lynch Center. Bright. And Castillo Jr. into the net. Ooh. Very uncharacteristic, Chris, for him.
Yeah, maybe the set wasn't high enough from Gomes.
This is William Guaman on the service line. Gomes goes on the outside. Oh, block
Good
there
block.
was Laguerre. Castillo Jr. goes down the line.
I like how he changed that up, Joe. He's been going cross court and middle, cross court and middle. He goes down the line this time.
Went to the opposite that time, and that's the way to break that up. When they block Laguerre, again, difficult. Only one blocker got there, and it was too easy for Castillo Jr. Fastball high and wide. Without the sticky stuff, Chris, that ball went wide. Castillo Jr. Brockton keeping it alive. And then Nunes-Lara, but I think he went into the net. Yeah, he reached over.
Oh,
wow.
I'll tell you, the official is on top of that tonight. There's a lot of calls that have been right up against the net today.
17-15. Voc-Tech leads it. That's Pham. Ooh, look at the knuckling action from Tommy Pham. And then Laguerre that time just hammers it off the blocker, and then it goes wide. That's the Abdel Jared Laguerre.
And if I'm Richie Gomes, I say, listen, pal, you just keep doing that all night.
If
they block it and it goes in, I think we're going to be there to recover it.
Yeah, and tip the cap.
Yep.
Those are the kind of mistakes that you're seeing here tonight so far. Maybe we'll smooth out as we get to the second and third set, but it's 18-16 Voc-Tech out in front, but only by 2 points. Lucas Pyers serving for Brockton. Stussy was there. Nunes-Lara was blocked, but then they keep it alive. Laguerre, oh, he struck that well from the back line, Chris, and had a lot, flat-footed, had a lot of topspin on it.
More offensive aggression really from the Bears, more than the Boxers, Joe. We've seen a lot of hitting from Voc, as you watch, even on this one on the back, to get it to the back row. We haven't seen much of that from Brockton. Looking for some spark out of them to really someone to step up on the offensive side.
Laguerre, nicely done. Yep. Keep it alive. Middle of the floor, that's Laguerre. Outside for Gundy's. I think that went off the tape, but the point regardless. Yeah, I think it went off the tape. Laguerre's on the floor. Now he's getting up. He's okay. Cody Raposa checks in. 19-16. Voc-Tech leading it.
Actually, it is 17.
Oh, 17. Just changing the scoreboard. On the outside for Gundy's. Brockton keeps it alive. Gomes on the outside for Gundy's. Hammered it. Oh, Brockton with a block and then there to play it over. Defensively, Brockton has been solid. And then wide.
Miss it.
Wide there from Delalue.
Yeah, Brockton's their best right now is their blocking. Their blocking has been solid here in set number one. Even if they challenge, they've been right on it. If they miss it, they don't care. They haven't had many kills, but they definitely had some blocks.
That's DePina serving.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and no one there. Delalue moved away, and the ball just went to the floor. So Brockton has tied it at 19. Number 7 is Julio Canuto DePina. DePina serving. Gomes on the outside for Gundy's. Took something off it, but Brockton was there. There's a bit of an overpass, though. Brockton with a chance here and a tip. So some mistakes by both squads.
Yep.
Gomes on the outside for Gundy's. Oh, and he hammered it off Pham. So for Gundy's.
Couldn't tell if Pham wanted to let it go or if he just couldn't get up fast enough. It was tough. Tough decision.
Either way, yeah, it was a tough decision. You're right, Chris. That ball's flying hard.
Yep.
Could it have gone wide and maybe even long? Difficult to tell.
Biggest lead, Joe's only been 3 points.
That's it. It's been back and forth.
That kind of a way.
Gomes serving. Guaman tried to get there with a tip. Now Guzman, check that. He could not put it away. I'm going to go on the outside to Fagundes. Took something off it. Brockton's there. They keep points alive.
Oh,
that's for sure. Guaman. Here's Abdel Jared Laguerre. Castillo Jr. just tips it, and then a bad pass there from Lucas Pyers.
Well, he put it in a spot where it really had Lucas Pyers running to come up and get that one. He wasn't able to handle it.
So point to Voc-Tech, back up by 2, 21-19. Abdel Jared Laguerre. On the outside for Gundy's. He's been solid. Brockton able to keep it alive.
Not going to make it.
That's 4 strikes, so they just let it drop.
Yep.
So point to Voc-Tech, 22-19. See if Jack Olson calls for a timeout, Chris, and he does.
Yeah, he does. And right now, Joe, it is the offense of Voc against the defense of Brockton. That's the way that this set, in my eyes, has gone.
It has.
It's a matter of, can Voc put the ball away, or are they going to miss, and it gives Brockton a point, or can Brockton hang in there and play defense and then find points off defense? Because really, look at the kills for Brockton. There's not much out there for them to sit back and say, wow, we're really scared of Pius or Miranda or someone else. It really hasn't been there. It's been their defense.
22-19, Voc-Tech leads it. Set number 1, quarterfinal round match between the number 4 seed, Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, and the number 5 seed, the Brockton Boxers. Joe Cabral and Chris Santos with you on the New Bedford Cable Network. The winner today moves on to the semifinals, and they'll take on Needham, Chris, in Needham.
Okay, so I'm sure maybe they have a scout here and watching this one because they're already in the semis.
Right.
And they want to see who they're playing. So that's that should be a good one. Doesn't matter which team makes it there.
We've been in Needham. It's been, several years, a bunch of years, but we've been there. It's a difficult venue to play at. Great
Undefeated
crowds.
season.
Great crowds. And that is out on the serve from Voc-Tech, so the timeout by Jack Olson pays off.
They're the number 1 seed at 18-0.
Fagundes hammers it off the blocker, but Brockton is there, including Guaman with the shoulder.
He didn't even know he did it.
Fagundes off the tape, and then it comes back on his side. Here we go, 22-21. Voc-Tech up now by only 1.
Yep. And Olson's timeout looming big. 2 in a row. Unfortunately, a bad pass from Laguerre. Got too close to the net. They couldn't do anything with it.
Gomes had a terrible angle.
Yep.
So because of it, point to Brockton, tied at 22. 3 in a row for the Boxers. Oh, another bad pass. Wow. Voc-Tech self-destructing here. Let's look to Richie, see if he calls for a timeout. Nothing. 4 in a row, though, from Brockton.
Wow.
And some bad play from Voc-Tech. There's Cotillo Jr.
What
Oh,
a
nice dig there by Pham.
Wow.
You can tell he's a defensive star. And then Raposa just has to punch it over. Brockton plays it over. That's Laguerre.
Got to get somebody here.
Gonna find Cotillo Jr. Oh, he was set up perfectly. No blockers there. And he was able to just strike one downhill. Cotillo Jr. now with 3 kills.
You know, give Gomes a lot of credit on that set because, most teams wouldn't do it. They would go the forward way when it's this close, tied at 23.
Gundy's nice serve, just making sure he doesn't give up a point there.
Oh.
And Guaman just got enough of it off of Cotillo Jr. And so point to Brockton. And this is set point, 24-23, and Richie Gomes calls for a timeout, try to ice the server.
Like I said, nothing special from Brockton, Joe. Very steady, good defensive team, forcing Voc to do what they need to do. They're making errors. The errors are costing them, and Brockton's taking advantage of it.
And you mentioned a very good defensive team,
Yes.
and that is evident here. Their blocking is outstanding, and then even in their blocking, they're ready to respond and keep the point alive after that, and they just keep points alive.
They sure do. If you're going to beat them, you have to continue to go hard at them. I think Richie Gomes knows that, but at the same time, you got to make sure communication's working and you're not giving away easy points. And that's what Voc did when that timeout was called by Olson. They ran 4 in a row, but they were easy points. It wasn't difficult at all for Brockton to win those.
Unforced errors by Voc-Tech. So remember, Voc-Tech won the opening match 3-1 at Brockton. Then Brockton came back and did the same to Voc-Tech, but this time 3-2 in sets. Here we go. Not a good pass there at all. So Fagundes had to just play it over.
Brockton has it if they want it.
That was Guaman. He was blocked. On the outside, Pham. Let's see, there was a violation there.
I think somebody was in the net.
On the pass, the
Yeah.
official signaled 2 hands.
Well, we're going extra here, Joe. In set number 1, tied at 24.
Tied at 24.
Win by 2.
Here's Delalue. Lyric Delalue serving. He's got that knuckling action. Did it go out? And it did. You hate to give up those kind of points to set up a set point. 25-24.
Just long, too.
This is William Guaman and Voc-Tech. Richie Gomes says, I can call another timeout, and I'm going to do so.
Oof.
Again, trying to freeze
the server.
25-24.
How about that, Joe? At 24 all, you get a pretty good serve going close, and you take the chance to let it go.
You judged it to be out.
Yep.
You let it go, and it was out. Very hard to tell from here, but definitely could see. Brockton was decisive with their decision to let it go, and they did, and it paid off. So timeout expiring here. Voc-Tech back on the floor. Abdel Jared Laguerre getting a drink of water, now headed back out there, not coming off. And it'll be William Guaman, number 17, serving for Brockton with a set point. Here we go.
Good
That's
serve.
Fagundes. Nice pass, sets up Gomes nicely. That's Castillo Jr., and there's that Brockton block.
Yep.
Pham will just play it over. Alberto Gomes. And that was Castillo Jr. could not put it away. Stussy was there on the outside. Delalue. And it's good.
Wow.
Wow, it was close, Chris.
Sure
Down
was.
the line.
Woo.
Abdel Jared Laguerre with 3 kills. I don't know if we have the replay on that one, but that was close.
Yeah, I don't know if it was tipped, too. Here it comes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's in.
It was in.
Great play. We are tied 25 all.
Here we go with Castillo Jr. And that looked out. No.
Was not out.
They'll say good.
And that's Pius, and that's one of the
Tough call.
real first offensive threats that they've done probably, Joe, in the second part of this first set. Because there wasn't much.
No. It's been mostly defensive points,
Yeah.
and that was good. Gomes on the outside. And Abdel Jared Laguerre said, there's no way we're losing this point. He was set up perfectly and hit that one as hard as humanly possible and almost straight downhill. So any kind of block there, you would have had to been right on the tape. Watch this. This is like downhill.
Yep.
Boom. That was halfway across the floor. There's Laguerre serving.
Now remember, Joe, since we've gone extra, New Bedford has not had the advantage once and be ahead.
They've not had a set point. Another block from Brockton. That's Guaman. Oh, that was clearly in. Castillo Jr. judged it to be maybe long, but clearly in.
Yeah, and what's very interesting is, remember, Voc has served all 3 of them, and Brockton is hung tough to always take the advantage.
This is Lucas Pyers or Brockton. Castillo Jr., not a great pass. Oh, problem there, and the point to Brockton. They win set number 1, 28-26. So you could see the pass was not on the mark, and so because of it, Gomes had to dive to try to get to it, Chris.
He did, and unfortunately, the first pass, instead of maybe the bump, got low, went with the set, was off base, and then obviously you get the running from your setter. He tries to make a good one too close to the net. It goes into the net. And the Brockton boxes, Joe, if I would have said, you know, you take a look at this set and how can they win this? Well, they've done it with defense. That has won them. And, of course, unforced errors by Voc has really cost them. And they come out of here with a 28-26 26 set 1 victory.
Yeah, what they do is they keep points alive, and that's done on the defensive side of the floor, and then you wait for the mistake. You wait for the mistake that gives the point that the opponent, where the opponent gives you the point, and Voc-Tech fell into that trap. Remember, they were ahead, Chris, 22-19.
Yep.
And you're thinking there, just, you know, even if you trade points, you're going to win the set. But Voc-Tech gave up 4 in a row.
Correct.
Went down 23-22, then tied it at 23, then went down 24-23 with a set point. And you mentioned it. They had
never could get ahead.
They never had a chance for a set point.
Yep. And that really cost them. And it just gave Brockton a lot of confidence. Give Olsen credit on that timeout when he needed it. And give credit to the Boxers, who really stepped up their game defensively. And then they had a couple of offensive plays. Pia's big kill during that time puts it away. And they come away with that first set victory.
So 28-26, Brockton in set number 1. Teams are getting ready for set number 2. And obviously, key set for Voc-Tech. You don't want to go down 2 sets to love. Put you in a very difficult position, needing to win 3 in a row. We've seen it happen, but not easy. Well played first set, and the part that you come away with after an early rough start by Brockton with unforced errors, they got to a point, Chris, where they were giving very few points to Voc-Tech. There you see head coach Jack Olson instructing the squad, telling them, here's how you play it. Here's what you do.
And so what you do, Joe, is if you don't think on a specific way to set up your offense, who cares? Get it over. Use our defensive skills that we do very well. And then if we can get a point off of that, great. If not, then if we get something we like and we get an offensive chance, we can put it away. So that's kind of what they do. They're not a very offensive-minded team. They don't have, like, big hitters. I mean, Miranda and Pius are okay, but nothing to sit home and say, wow, we really got to watch out for these guys.
So here we go, set number 2. Official checking to make sure the players are positioned properly and are out there according to the lineup card. And here we go for Brockton. Number 7, Julio Canuto de Pina on the service line. On the outside, Delalue off the block. There was Brockton again. Tip there from Laguerre. Then Guaman, he goes with a tip. Gomes played it up high as Laguerre could not put it away. Delalue was challenged at the net by number 14, Miranda. There's Guaman. Brockton just very solid. Another block there from Brockton. Number 14, Miranda, is outstanding as a blocker, and then the ball down the line put away by Laguerre.
Remember, Joe, it makes you change your philosophy. You saw on the first one when Laguerre got blocked. The second time it came to him, I didn't think it was a bad set, and he tried a little tap, and Pham said, no, I know what you're doing here. I got this one. So you kind of maybe say, hey, I'm tired of getting blocked.
Exactly, Chris. And you change the way you play, which feeds right into the opponent's hands. Voc-Tech with the point, leading it now 2-0.
Not often we see a miscommunication from the Boxers in that first set, but they did on that one.
Here's Laguerre off the tape. Nice dig there by Pham. That's Guaman. And that was the best strike from Brockton that we've seen. That was William Guaman. Second kill for Guaman, but that one he hit well.
Felt comfortable on that one, went after it.
And then Fagundes well wide.
So now you're worried about the block. What do? You try to hit extra. You try to do more things, and then you make mistakes.
Extra hard, extra the placement. You try to place it a little bit better, perfectly in the corner. It's Froyo serving for Brockton. Middle of the floor. Tip from Voc-Tech. So Brockton is there. Middle of the floor. They go with a tip. Heiser Cacho in. He was there. That's Legura off the tape. It just spun.
Oh.
Oh, and then a throw down there from Miranda.
Wow. That was impressive.
Went up high.
Because there was a few defenders there. Watch how he pulls this one off, Joe. Watch the defenders in this face. Wow, and he just flips it down.
Flip is a good term. That's Froyo serving. And then Delalue said, I can do that.
I can do that. Return the favor.
So tied at 3, and it looks like that's the type of match this is going to
Yep.
be.
I agree.
Here's Delalue. Back set there. Nice dig by
Wow.
Legura, and then Cotillo was there, struck it well, but was denied. Here's Fagundes at the net, goes with a tip. Both teams keeping it alive with just reflex action. That was Guaman. Guaman has had a good match so far, Chris.
He has, and he's not one of the big hitters, but he is enough. I would say Miranda and Pius would probably be the 2 and put him the 3rd one if they really want to get offensive.
Ball up into the rafters, but stayed alive.
Yeah, good job by Legura because that actually hit one of the banners.
That was Guaman, and it looked like it was good. Well, they're going to say out. I don't know. It'd be nice to see that one on replay. That was very close. Is Rachel coming out to assist here?
Yeah. In fact, Lagunda looked like to say, that was out.
Here we go, Cody Raposa, 4 apiece. Pham over safely.
Now this was got to be one here. So
And
that's the
Cotillo
one you want
Jr.
right there. That's where Gomes has to be at his best. Right there.
They give you a nice, easy ball to handle, so it gets to your setter and gets there easily with plenty of time.
Right there. See, nice.
Look how much time he's got.
He could have went wide and said he went with the middle.
Cody Raposa serving. That's Guaman. Just took something off it on the outside. Fagundes off the block. Tip there from Pham. And the point to Brockton. And Tommy Pham is just one of those players. Nothing spectacular.
That you love him when he's on your team,
and you
hate him when he's against you.
he's just in the way to do things that you say, how did we not get that point?
Right.
The answer is Tommy Pham.
Yep.
And Legura long. So here we go again. Now Brockton up 6-5. Seesaw back and forth. William Guaman on the service line. Fagundes, Gomes, Cotillo Jr.
Ooh.
That time it was Pham and Guaman in the same area.
Yeah.
They were like, do I play it? Do you play it? Neither played it.
Pham wasn't sure, decided to let it go. No, wait a minute, I'll take it. Went back and forth.
Too late. As Fagundes off the tape. Brockton handling the serve from Voc-Tech. That was Pham on the outside. Big strike. And then Guaman, violation is called here. Yes, against Brockton. The point to Voc-Tech, and now they're up 7-6.
Looks like we got a little disturbance up in the stands, and I think it's some Needham players. Didn't go over well, and some parents went over to talk about it. And I think they're going to either move or be escorted out.
Yeah, we have Ryan Methia, the AD for Voc-Tech up there.
Yeah.
Point to the Bears, 8-6. They lead it. blocked at the net. That was number 7, DePina, getting it over. There's DePina. Got it to Pyers. So good point here. 8-6 Voc-Tech leading it. Laguerre blocked at the net. Raposa, Gomes, Castillo Jr. Again, Brockton is there. Pham got it nicely to number 14, Miranda, on the back line, who played it forward and gets credited with a kill.
So 8-7. Once again, no team making any kind of a run. Seesaw, Joe. You win, I win, just back and forth. Doesn't matter if you're serving, receiving. It's just the way it's been.
Not a good pass there, but Voc-Tech keeps it alive.
Real hustle by Gomes there. Impressive.
That's Gomes. Stussy. Then punched over by Fagundes. A bump to the outside. A tip there from DePina. One of those points again. Castillo Jr. just tried to do too much and went long. So point to Brockton, and right back to 8 apiece, Chris. There's no spread. 3 points, as you mentioned, has been the extent of it.
Pretty much.
As Castillo Jr. was set up nicely
wide
by Gomes, but too long. Just hammered it and missed.
Yep.
And was set up perfectly in the middle. That was one of those you didn't have to be that fine with the back line.
A 4-point run has been the most, and that was in set 1.
This is Pham. Raposa. Not a great pass, and now all of a sudden Voc-Tech scrambling. Nice work there by Laguerre. And then that's going to be out, and you're going to get this one because this one's not down the line. This was like right in your tracks.
Easy play.
That was an easy one.
Easy.
As they say, it was a 2-hopper. A bounding ball that time that Chris Santos moved over to the line just to step on. Tied at 9 now. Here's Castillo Jr. Oh, and that time Brockton was caught. We're not playing it underneath William Guaman.
Yep.
Instead of bumping it, tried to get low and pass it with 2 hands, and with that could not get any altitude. The pass was very flat.
No. And way, way too far for the setter.
Here's Castillo Jr. Oh, and he serves it into the net. Back to 10 apiece.
Every time you think folks ready to do something, something goes wrong. And then they get back to playing one-on-one.
There's a bump to the outside. Laguerre could not put it away. Brockton's Guaman just playing it safely. On the outside, Laguerre blocked, but that time it fell on Brockton's side of the floor. And then looks like maybe, see if there's a sprained ankle here for Miranda. That would be a big loss. He's one of the key players for Brockton. He's trying to walk it off. He's going to sub out here. He's moving pretty quickly.
I don't know if he stepped on another foot
or just came down
just rolled
funny.
it.
Yeah.
He's taking it off right away.
Walking pretty quickly.
And the shoe off right away.
You got to tape that.
You got to do something quickly. You know, right now he's on the bench and he's got the trainer over, so they'll have to sub. I believe it will be number 8 taking his place, Connor Nonchavelli.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nonchavelli as of yet, so first time he's been out there.
Let's see if this is a bigger change.
Oh, this would be huge.
If they get on a little run without him in there.
Because he has been critical in the blocking. Right away, you see a mistake, Chris, from Nonchavelli.
Yep.
His pass was too close to the net, and it was easily put away by Voc-Tech. Oh, and that time the Bears were caught as Froyo just played it in the middle of the floor. So 12-10 Bears. Pham on the service line. Check that, it's number 7, DePina. That's Delalue, and Delalue was blocked by Guaman.
Big block.
Wow. That ball went.
Listen, you can block a ball, Joe, but it's got to go in. It's going in.
And well back on the floor.
Yep.
With no one from Voc-Tech was anywhere in the vicinity, so that was as blocked as solidly as you can get to one.
Sure was.
Punched over by Laguerre. That's Guaman. That time he put it into the net.
Sure did.
So point to Voc-Tech. Let's watch that Guaman block, Chris.
Okay. Back set. Picked it up. Ooh, both hands.
Pow.
Look at
played
Pham.
over by Pham on a ball that ricocheted off the ceiling. That's Fagundes on the block that time. Off of number 9, Froyo. And Jack Olson calls a timeout, down 14-12, and he might be trying to buy some time here. I think he's buying some time, Chris, to see if he can get Miranda back out there.
In fact, he took a peek behind. He wanted to see how much tape she needs to do to say, hey, maybe I can get him back in. And there you see him, very frustrated. He's banged the chair a couple of times, and she's going to work. She's getting, trying to get that as fast as possible to get him back on. Unfortunately, it's only a minute in the timeout, but only down by 2.
Just get a timeout here. Kill a minute at least. And then if it takes a little more than that, you don't fall too far behind. But Rafael Miranda, number 14, just came down on a block, Chris. Hard to tell. You mentioned,
I didn't see it.
Did he step on someone or just roll it? It looked like to me he just stepped down and rolled it himself. It didn't look like it was on anyone's foot.
Well, there's taping that as much as they can.
I hope they shaved his leg, because later when that comes off, that is not going to feel good.
Hopefully the pre-wrap is on first.
Hopefully they did a good job extending that all the way up. Because if they didn't, that's not going to feel great. There's a ball on this near side, and not played well by Laguerre.
No, and Gomes kind of coming up gingerly.
Slow, yeah.
On his right knee.
14-13.
That would be a huge loss if he starts to feel the effects of an injury.
This is Froyo. Laguerre was there. Played over safely by Fagundes. Middle of the floor. That was Nocevelli who was denied. That's Guaman. Cotillo Jr. couldn't get there and get it back on the floor. So William Guaman for Brockton.
How about the placement, though, of Guaman, Joe? Under stress.
Absolutely.
Under control, puts it in a great spot.
14 apiece. That's Froyo serving. That's Fagundes. And trying to get there was DePina, but again on his dig, didn't get low enough, and it was a line drive pass. Can't be lazy on those, Chris. You really got to get down there, even if you have to go to the floor. Here's Delalue. And Brockton couldn't keep it alive. That's a service ace for Lyric Delalue.
Trainer has taken Miranda behind the curtain to go through some little running and movement drills to see how he looks before she gives him the okay to say, you can go back in.
16-14 Voc-Tech. That's Guaman. Delalue was there. Gomes sets to the outside. Fagundes was denied. And then pass was so close to the net that Brockton couldn't return it.
Well, here's 3 right now, and Olsen looking back to see, hey, can I get my guy back in? But not yet.
Not yet. Delalue serving. 3-point Voc-Tech lead. Pham hammered it, but the blockers were there, and it ended up falling on the Voc-Tech side, however. So
and a name we have not called often, Isaac Cacho, who's trying to make that block.
And it looks like Brockton's going to make a substitution here. We're going to see for the first time number 10, Matthew Duarte. He's going to sub in for Nocevelli.
Maybe a better server.
Middle of the floor. Oh, Castillo Jr. had a ball he should have put away.
Look
Could not. Played it on the floor. He was laying down, and then the ball goes out.
No, the ball went in from Lagunda.
Oh, he says it was good. They said it was good from Laguerre.
Jack Olson.
And number 14 is struggling to walk, Miranda. You can see him trying to walk, and he was hobbling, Chris. And the little bit I saw, I don't know if you can catch it out of the corner of the screen here on replay. No, but he was really struggling. Was not doing a good job. No.
Not from him yet.
Not yet.
(18-15). Raposa on the service line.
18-15.
Just in set number 2.
Voc-Tech. It's been a different Brockton team without Miranda. Yep. Played over by Pham. Castillo Jr.
Oh, it was tipped.
Looked like it was tipped by number 13, Pyers. Yep. So a kill there for Castillo, now with 6.
Well, he's up, and it looks like they're going to make the move, Joe.
They're going to give a shot, Chris.
Whether he's healthy or not.
You can see the giddy up is not there, not right, but he's going to try to give it a shot. Going to try to gut it out.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Back set there, and Guaman goes off the block, puts it away. That's 5 kills for William Guaman.
He's picked it up.
He has. He's been solid the entire match.
And they've needed him when Miranda was out.
19-16, Voc-Tech leading it. Overpass there. And then Pyers just did not finish when he had that overpass.
Nope. 4-point lead. Biggest lead in this set and in the entire match.
For Gundy's. It was a good dig by Miranda. Pyers played it over. And big strike there from Abdel Jared Laguerre, and it was good. Now with 6 kills. Unofficially in a Brockton timeout. Voc-Tech leading at 21-16.
Now you can see a much bigger and larger team of players from Voc compared to maybe 3 or 4 extras on Brockton. So
9 players on the Brockton roster.
A lot of gold jerseys right there coming off the bench to talk to Richie Gomes and some of his assistants talking to the starters as they have a 5-point lead, looking to try to tie this one up at 1 and move on to set number 3.
15 players on the Voc-Tech roster and 9 on the Brockton roster that we received. You can see Abdel Jared Laguerre really finishing one there with great pace. Here is number 14 for Voc-Tech, Ethan Fagundes serving. This is a quarterfinal match, Division I South section. Boys volleyball on the outside. That ball was struck by DePina, hit the tape, could not put it away. Brockton is there.
Whoa.
Oh, and that is going to be a point well placed there.
And that's what you said, Joe. Well placed. That's not short. That's deep corner, and that was going to be in.
And no one was there, so it was a lunge from Voc-Tech. Here's Tommy Pham serving.
Good knuckleball.
Yes, no rotation. 2 players for Voc-Tech colliding.
Gomes are on the ground.
And then just a change of pace there from DePina through the blockers. His first kill. And Brockton, not so fast here at Voc-Tech.
Nope, here they come off that timeout like they did in set number 1. And Richie Gomes, he can see this one.
21-18.
Knows he's got to stop the bleeding right now.
Tommy Pham. Look at that serve. Catillo Jr. And that's how they stop it. They go to Catillo Jr. Only one blocker there.
And he'll serve.
For Brockton, so it was a nice put away from Catillo Jr. Here is Lewis.
Went right at Miranda.
Miranda, and he answered well.
Yep.
There's a ball just hammered off the head of Delalue by Pyers.
It did go off his head, didn't it?
It did. Split his hands and hit him right.
Yep.
The crown of the head.
Not going away fast.
Not yet. That's Pyers serving. On the outside, Laguerre. Oh, what a dig there by Pyers. And Brockton plays it over, keeps the point alive. They're going to go on the outside again. Delalue. And it went off the tape, and then Brockton could not handle it. 23-19. So Voc-Tech saying, hey, no, you're not going to get close enough here. We're going to, if we have to trade points, we're glad to do that now. We're in position to finish this one off.
Yeah. They would have to make a big run, which has not been done here this afternoon. So with Gomes serving.
Overpass from Brockton. Gomes will go to the outside. Laguerre. DePina was there.
Delalue to put that one away. And we're looking for set point at 24-19 to Voc to knock this one up at 1.
24-19. Here's Alberto Gomes.
Here it is.
And it ends up being a service ace. Went off the hands of Guaman, and then because of that, split Pham behind him. And it's a service ace that gives Voc-Tech set number 2 at 25-19.
Well, it's taken almost an hour, and we've gotten 2 sets in. We're knotted at 1 here in Dartmouth between the number 4 and number 5 seeds in this quarterfinal matchup. Again, the winner to take on Needham in the semis up in Needham. And once again, we're in Dartmouth because of some electrical issues over at Voc. I could not get a home game. And Joe, not saying that that's going to affect them, but I'm sure the Bears wanted to be in the Bears Den for this one instead of being in a neutral site.
Yeah, absolutely. You're used to your floor. You're used to everything about it, the lighting, everything.
Yep.
It's, you know, it's like, oh, every basketball court's the same. Well, no, not when you're used to it. The background, different things play a factor. Yes, all the rims are 10 feet high. All the floors are the same dimension.
Even using their own net. If you can take a look at the net, we're in Dartmouth. That says Bears Volleyball.
Yeah,
it's got it on the pads on the side too. So if our cameraman can get that, this is not Dartmouth stuff. This is Voc-Tech stuff.
They said we're going to bring all our stuff down, which, I mean, obviously they have a fine volleyball program here.
Yep.
If this was a neutral site match, you wouldn't see that. You would see Dartmouth's equipment here.
Even Richie brought his own stereo equipment. He's got a speaker out there.
You know Richie Gomes when it comes to that.
He's got it all figured out.
Injured his kneecap, Chris.
Okay.
Showing his team certain things, you know, so while they were practicing, he's trying to show them, you know, hey, here's how you do it. And Richie is, of course, now, you know, up in there in his mid to upper 30s and getting close to 40, and didn't quite go the way he'd like. Injured kneecap, he said he has to wait. You know, the doctors are going to wait 4 to 6 weeks to see how it heals. And if it does, then he could be okay. If not,
some sort of surgery.
Yeah, he's going to need surgery.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, you know, when you get to a certain age, you coach for a reason, and you coach to teach, you coach to at practices, you do it all. And there are times, you step on the court yourself, and you're trying to help the younger generation, and unfortunately, might move a certain way, do something wrong. I have done that in the past myself. whether it was hockey, whether it was
Tennis,
even football, and have kind of injured myself doing it. And you sit back and go, well, maybe I should just talk.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Instead of playing. Yes. Well, we hope he gets back, and it's nothing too bad for him. Like to see him out there moving around, and very energetic, enthusiastic coach.
Certainly is. And so Voc-Tech has tied it at a set apiece, winning set number 2, 25-19, after falling 28-26 in set number 1. So set 3, best of 5. This is obviously a critical set. This is like a game 5 in a best of 7 series and a best of 5. The third set or third game is key. It puts you in position to finish off your opponent. Here's Alberto Gomes for Voc-Tech. Tip there, that time at the net by number 9, Aiden Froyo.
A name we have not called often.
Not a lot.
But comes through with that one, and a nice. I'll point their defense, Joe, but it's the placement of where they've put shots. Impressive.
Just a good team,
yeah.
no doubt. And let's see here what happened.
I think somebody
Voc-Tech
was
with
in
a
the
violation, apparently.
Yep.
You see the net shaking and vibrating a lot.
Quick 2 points.
So Brockton 2-zip. Abdel Jared Laguerre, nice dig there by Froyo. Delalue was set up nice and went with that little throwdown move.
I'll tell you, they're afraid of nothing on the defense.
No.
They're taking big hits, and they're just saying, bring it on. We got this.
If they had more ability on the outside to put points away, they'd be very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Very dangerous. Oh, and there was a ball from Miranda that goes scooting by.
No left hand, Joe?
Short, I mean,
okay.
I had no chance. I was trying to make the call here. I could have gotten there. Certainly, that's a glove hand. So, I mean, that's in the, that's the shortstop hole if you're a third baseman.
5-6. 3-1, favorite Brockton.
That was a kill for Miranda, his 4th of the match.
Whoa.
And that's well out from Miranda. You can see he's not right. He's doing some wrong footing stuff, using that left leg.
You're trying to save it. I understand.
As much as he can. Right leg is very stiff, as Delalue. I remember playing basketball and getting ready for playoffs and spraining my ankle in a warm-up in a match, in a game, just getting ready for the playoffs. And I was so angry. I kept on playing, and I messed up my ankle so bad it was terrible. And I ended up not being able to play. 4-2 Brockton, 4-3 now, as Voc-Tech at that point the ball was long.
Yeah, unfortunately, it could be, outside, inside, inverted, where it's real bad, high ankle sprain.
Yeah,
obviously, there's a lot of different measures from him. But when you have all that tape on, Joe, how tight it is, how difficult, your agility and balance to move to how you normally do it.
Yeah, you're going to be very stiff-legged.
Yeah, it's always what you're thinking.
And you still feel it, so what you're trying to do is you kind of protect it. On the outside for Gundies, and then it went off the hands of Guaman all the way to the crowd. So nice hit there by Fagundes.
Yeah, got to get him going. I'd like to see him
Only
involved some more.
3 kills so far.
I want to get him to get some more.
4 points apiece. Here's Cody Raposa. Middle of the floor, and Pyers could not put it away. That's the difference for Brockton, their ability to put points away. Brockton again there. Pham tried to cut it across the tape, and that's Cotillo Jr., and the ball was out. So you saw how Brockton won that point. They had 3 or 4 opportunities for kills.
Correct.
Could not put any of them away.
Nope.
Just stayed alive, and then Voc-Tech made a mistake.
That's it. They take their chances.
Here's Pham.
Yeah, the way that ball spun.
Yep.
Yeah, you knew there was an issue there.
Six 4 Brockton. Violation against Voc-Tech. Number 6 is Tommy Pham. Jack Olson playing a little football. Here we go. I think we're ready. Pham. No, guess not. Rotation violation against Voc-Tech. Official was waiting. She was waiting. She said, this is not right. She waited. The second the ball was served, she blew the whistle. And Richie is questioning it, and she's saying, nope, I'm right. She's saying, no, this is not right.
So there's a flip-flop in there somewhere along.
Yep. No, here you go. So point to Brockton, 7-4 now, Boxers. That's Pham. Got that crazy serve. Fagundes on the outside, and he's out again. So Brockton winning points here again by Voc-Tech, making mistakes.
Yep.
Boxers are like the counter punchers.
Yes. And when a counter puncher always has a chance.
They're not trying to win by the knockout. They're trying to win by points.
Yep.
Like, I'll counter punch, you throw a punch, and I'll throw another punch that's going to hurt you a little bit. And you're going to be throwing bombs, and I'm going to survive the bombs.
Yep.
You're going to take the counter punch. Another good serve from Pham. Middle of the floor, and then Cotillo Jr. tried to do too much, Chris. He saw the blocker and tried a hook shot.
Got to be a timeout in here somewhere.
Yeah.
There you go.
6 consecutive points from Brockton, and they lead it 10-4. And when they got Miranda back, Chris, and even though he's not done a ton, it made a difference.
Inspirational.
Yeah.
It's what it is. He's one of your big guys. He's one of your leaders.
You can see him on the screen.
Right. And remember, it's a rotation of 6 guys working together, and he is a big piece and a key player for them, and they feel confident when he's in there. But again, it's mistakes that Voc has made, and it's just tremendous defense and keeping the ball in play. Very, very big. It's like watching a third singles player. Not big hitters. They just push the ball back and forth. You keep hitting it hard. They just get it back. They hit it hard. You get it back.
You
and
try
finally,
to do too much. Yep.
You hit it out.
And
it's gone. It's long. It's wide. And they just sit back and they smile and say, bring it on again.
Yeah, I had a friend. I didn't play tennis, obviously, to the level you did, but I had a friend in high school I used to play a lot with. I knew how to hit topspin, both sides, and he never did. But his game was exactly what you described.
Yep, they're like backboards.
Yeah, he was exactly like a backboard.
Yeah, until you make a mistake.
And you get frustrated.
Yep, and finally mess up.
And you'd make a mistake. Here's Gomes, middle of the floor, Cotillo Jr. That time, conservatively. Oh, no, they're going to say a do-over. Disagreement on what happened there.
Not sure if they thought it was in or out.
So Voc-Tech was saying it was in, but the officials said no. So they disputed it, and they were unsure, and they said do-over. So Voc-Tech's Pham.
Yeah, it's a tough break.
Brockton's Pham still serving. That's Fagundes. Had to go with a tip on the outside, and that's a tip from DePina. And then another point to Brockton. The counter puncher.
And you can see now where Voc is starting to get a little frustrated, Joe. And that's what happens. Mentally, you start to break down because you're sitting there saying, how do I get by this? How do I continue?
And another nice serve from Pham. That's Cotillo Jr.
Into the net.
Into the net. I think it was Cotillo Jr. That's 8 consecutive points for Brockton on Fam's serve. Fam's got that tremendous serve. That's Catillo Jr. That time, Voc-Tech set him up properly, and he just said enough. But it comes after 8 consecutive points for Brockton. Here's Ethan Fagundes. Nice dig there. And then Catillo Jr. again. Nine kills for Luis. 6-12. Fagundes serving, and it's a service ace for Ethan Fagundes.
And Jack Olson will not like that.
No, that's uncharacteristic for Brockton. Ball middle of the floor that fell in. Didn't have had good pace, but not ace type speed. Mistakes there by Brockton, but they were able to keep it alive, but outside the antenna. So Voc-Tech a little bit of a run here. They have 4 in a row. 12-8. Fagundes. Brockton's passing not good in this little stretch here. That's Raposa. Gomes on the outside. Laguerre.
So it was
Let's see here. Let's say it was good. Oh no, now they're saying out, and Richie Gomes didn't like the call. At first the official pointed toward, the chair umpire pointed toward Voc-Tech, then changed the call, said it was out. So look to the floor official. So it's 13-8, Brockton. Catillo Jr. just hammered it down the line. That was an absolute blast from Luis Catillo Jr.
Still down by 4.
13-9, Brockton. Over safely by Pyers. And then the kill there, but Brockton keeps it alive.
Yes, they do.
And Voc-Tech, for a second, couldn't believe it. There's Laguerre. Oh, a diving play there. There's Catillo Jr. Fam tried to get there, and they kept it alive for a second. Unbelievable defensive play from Brockton there. A tremendous dig from number 7, Julio DePina, and then Fam came up with that dig, just couldn't keep it.
Yeah, and you know how big set number 3 is, Joe, when it's 3 out of 5.
Very big. That's Catillo Jr. And then into the tape, DePina. Voc-Tech getting it close again at 13-11 in favor of Brockton. They were down by as many as 8, so they've cut 6 points off that lead. Here's Catillo Jr. On the outside, you see Miranda couldn't do much with it.
Keep hammering it. Got to keep hammering it.
Laguerre just hammered it off the blocker.
Yep.
Another kill for Abdel Jared. 8 unofficially. Catillo Jr. Bumped over. That's Raposa. Now on the outside. Abdel Jared Laguerre, they've been setting him up perfectly, and he delivers again. And Voc-Tech has come all the way back from an 8-point deficit.
Sure have, and it doesn't get any easier this for Gomes and Laguerre. Exactly what you'd practice every single day, and it was right there. And we're tied at 13, so down as many as 8. The Bears will not be denied, and Jack Olson will wait, call timeout.
So timeout on the floor.
Joe, you ever see the movie The Replacements?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Good movie.
Remember the part where they ask, what's your biggest fears? And Keanu Reeves says, quicksand. And he says, what does that mean? And he says, you're playing. And something goes wrong. And then something else goes wrong. And then another thing goes wrong. And no matter how you try to get out of it, it still continues to go wrong. And it's like quicksand. You just keep sinking and sinking. Both teams in this game have been in that way.
Yeah,
that's what they've experienced.
And we call it momentum.
Yep.
So a lot of times momentum, moving from one side to the other, that's what happens.
Yep. And no matter how hard you fight, as Brockton has to say, how do I get out of this? They can't, as much as Voc did at the beginning with all their mistakes. And they've tried to make it and turn it around. The same thing has happened with Brockton. And that's why we're tied at 13. It's been two different versions of this game.
Coutinho Jr. There's a ball on the outside. Miranda, he said, forget the ankle here for a second.
Even if I'm unorthodox, I got to go at it.
Yep, wrong-footed it, but really delivered it. So Brockton back out in front, 14-13. Julio DePina serving. That was Fagundes. On the outside, Abdel Jared. He's just on a run right now, Chris.
Got to keep hammering him. Got to keep going to him. Put him on your shoulders if you have to. This is a huge set right here. This can be a deflating set, especially if you were up 8 and then lose it and now down 2-1. Brockton will feel this loss if they cannot come back.
They're going to go again, Abdel Jared. He goes with a tip, and it's going his way now. Everything's going his way. The blockers tried to get there so desperately, but he wasn't positioned to hit it as hard as he would like.
Nope.
Just went with a tip. Comes up with a point. 15-14, Voc. Middle of the floor. That's Miranda.
Good by Cacho.
Delalue couldn't put one away. But Voc-Tech's Delalue is there again.
Yeah, but good help by Cacho on the one before, Joe. If you watch the replay, he slides over, becomes a triple blocker, not 2, 3. Moves over, helps out big time.
Gomes. Oh, what a reaction there by Pham. And then Delalue puts it away. Brockton was able to keep it alive because of the reaction by Pham, but didn't do much with it. Watch here, Pham. Ooh. And then they were able to keep it alive, but not deep enough, and it was easy for Delalue to throw it down. So the score at one point was 12-4 Brockton. Now it's 17-14, so it's a 13-2 run for Voc-Tech.
Sure is.
On the outside, Guaman. There it was Coutinho Jr.
Oh, not a good set.
So put over safely by Laguerre. Middle of the floor. That was Miranda. Couldn't get as much on it as he would like. That's Guaman on the outside. There was Gomes. Bump to the outside. Cut there from Laguerre.
That's going to go in.
Now just keeping it alive. And finally, Brockton's able to come up with that point. What Voc-Tech has been able to do on this stretch is like not give Brockton free points. So Brockton having to try to earn the points, and it's much more difficult for them to earn points.
I think Brockton likes it better when Voc is serving.
If the serve is not dynamic, absolutely. Brockton keeps it alive here. That's Gomes to the outside. Laguerre just hammered it off the blocker.
Good play by Jack Olson. Try to get in the game.
He reacted. Abdel Jared Laguerre in this set is en fuego.
Yeah. He's trying to put his team on his shoulders right now, and he's serving.
Nice serve. Brockton is there. Miranda on the outside. Nice kill there that time from Rafael Miranda. 6 kills for Miranda.
Yep. Inspirational for his team.
Yeah, he's gutting it out.
Yep.
Because that ankle's not going to feel good tonight, Chris.
No. Nope. That would be ice down from the moment he finishes this one.
Oh, off the tape and literally rolled over.
Wow, what a break.
That was a big point, ace for Miranda.
What a break that is.
18-17 Voc-Tech. Brockton fighting back here. That's Cotillo.
Great pass.
Tipped there by Delalue, but chance here for Brockton.
Yep.
That was Guaman. Didn't get a lot on it. Outside. Oh, nice dig there with touch by Miranda. And then Pham, the shortest player on the floor, with a kill down the line. 4 kills for Tommy Pham. 18 apiece. Cotillo Jr. on the outside. Fagundes. Brockton is there.
Yep.
And they keep it alive.
Say, come at us again.
Fagundes again off the blocker. Brockton is there again. Pham goes on the outside to Guaman. And the point to Brockton. 18 apiece. No, 19. Check that. 19-18 Brockton.
They do a real good job of blocking and defending and getting the ball back over. Doesn't have to be special,
a mistake
but
there
enough.
by Miranda. Oh, Guaman, sorry. Check that.
No, it was Miranda. You're right.
Okay, Miranda.
Yeah, he made the mistake.
Into the net.
But he did that where he turned the foot the other way.
Yep, wrong foot.
Yep.
19 apiece on the outside. DePina tried to put one away and then smartly handled there by Cotillo.
Yeah, and he had to because on the opposite side waiting for it was Pius.
So he couldn't pass it. The ball was an overpass. It just deflected it. Pick up the point for Voc-Tech. Delalue. Close to going out.
Oh.
And then Guaman off the block of Cotillo Jr. and it fell on his side. Cotillo Jr.'s side, that is. So a kill for Guaman. And 20 apiece.
Well,
this is the way it's been.
All
match long.
Match long is correct.
That's Guaman. A little bit of a mispass there, so chance for Brockton. And it hit the rafter. That's a break for Brockton. That was a big break for Voc-Tech.
Big time. Then he hit the wire.
And then off the antenna. So if you hit the antenna, it's out.
So Gomes just a little bit too much on that set. Got Fagundes way over.
So Brockton
back in the lead.
Leads it 21-20. Overpass there.
Yeah, but how about that short serve?
There's a ball from DePina, but Voc-Tech is there. That's Fagundes. Guaman. They're going to go on the outside to Pham off the blocker. Oh, looked like a violation there, but they said it was good. Oh, critical point here, and it's a good one.
Yep.
On the outside, DePina plays it over. Cacho, nearly an overpass. Teams know how critical this point is. Kept alive here. Oh.
Gomes got it.
Nice attempt there by Froyo. Thought he caught Voc-Tech sleeping, but he did not. Little bump there, and then Miranda.
Right here. Got to have Gomes with a good set.
Cotillo Jr.
Got to have it.
And
Got to have it.
Jr. put it away. 21 apiece. Cody Raposa will check in to head to the service line.
Richie Gomes gave him a little sign to say, this is where I want you to go with it.
Just played over by Brockton. That's where they get in trouble. Cotillo was blocked.
Right back to him. There it is.
And
right
that time he went with a tip. They had Pyers up and down, made a block, but then the second one back to Cotillo, and he just put it away quickly. He didn't give him any chances. So watch it. Block here by, no,
just
we
enough.
missed the other one.
That's all right. Just a little left-handed
quickly
touch.
back to Cotillo Jr. Put it away.
Up by 1. Oh, big serve from Raposa.
Raposa with a nice serve.
Blocked.
Pyers tried.
Good one from Raposa.
Really went after the kill there. Kept in by Cotillo Jr.
And they'll take that from the backcourt.
That's Miranda. Raposa was there on the outside for Gundies. Brockton was there, up again in the rafters.
It's a chance you take. How about Raposa, though? A couple of big serves.
Had a great serve.
And a couple of defensive moves to get the ball in. Pretty special coming off the bench there.
And Brockton's Jack Olson calls for a timeout with Voc-Tech leading it 23-21. So at one point in the match, we were tied at 4 early on, Chris. Then 8 consecutive points for Brockton on the serve of Tommy Pham. Made it 12-4. Since then, Voc-Tech has picked up 19 points to Brockton's 9.
Now, big swing of momentum, though, Joe, from both sides in each set. So, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Brockton even comes back in this one and the momentum, swings again. I know it's only 2 points away, but they've done it. We've seen it. Voc has to really, really play disciplined volleyball here. Can't make mistakes. Got to get good passes, and when they get it, when Gomes gets it where he needs it, they've been doing it right. So let's see how they come off of this one. If Olson's timeout once again hurts Raposa, or will he have enough to keep it going?
So it's 23-21. Cody Raposa.
Good serve.
There's Guaman. And the ball out by Pham.
Saw a couple of big guys in front of him, Joe. Said, I better get it a little bit up and above them, and a little bit too much as they serve for set number 3.
Voc-Tech 24-21. That's Raposa. That was Miranda. DePina.
Great play by
nice
Raposa.
Work there. Pires, and then the ball was out. So Pires was there. Point to Brockton, 24-22. So obviously here, if you're Brockton, you need 2 consecutive points to keep this set alive. Here's Tommy Pham. Got that great serve.
Right here.
Catillo Jr.
Tipped.
Went with the tip, and that was enough. And the point to Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, and they win set number 3 by a score of 25-22. So Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech comes back from an 8-point deficit at 12-4, and they take set number 3, 25-22, in position now to wrap up the match as we head to set number 4.
Each set taking a half an hour. Started at 5. It is 6:30, 28-26, 25-19, and 25-22 in favor of Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, leading this match 2-1. I'm sure, I don't think, in my personal opinion, Joe, Brockton will go the way. I think they will hang around, could push this one to a 5th, but the momentum right now is definitely in Voc's side. They have to get off to a good start, come out of this little timeout between sets and sit back and say, hey, if we can get to a good start, it pushes Brockton on the defense even more and kind of gets them back where they might have to now take chances, which they haven't really done a lot of, to get back to win points, which is not their strong suit.
So true. Yeah, and I think what you saw there, after it was 12-4, that run by Brockton occurred on primarily Voc mistakes.
Right.
And then they just got their house in order and said, we're going to go after and win points, but we're not going to give you points. And they did not, during that stretch, did not give a lot of points to Voc-Tech. And so because of it, with their ability to put points away, they were able to come from 8 points down to win set number 3, 25-22. Our scores here this evening, 28-26, Brockton in set number 1. Set number 2, Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, 25-19. In set 3, the Bears 25-22 over the Boxers. So 2-1 in favor of Voc-Tech. Set 4, Bears can wrap it up. Brockton will look to set up a fifth and deciding set. Chris, the winner goes to the semifinals.
Needham waiting after clinching another victory for them. Moves them up to like 18-0 on the season, undefeated. I'm sure one of these teams would love to knock them off as we get ready for set number 4 here in Dartmouth at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center. Alma mater of mine, Joe, by the way.
Yes.
Did not have this gym. I graduated from the old Dartmouth High, which is now the middle school.
You're an old timer.
Wish I would have had a gym like this, which is nice.
And there are other gymnasium, which I fit.
Nice
I was
too.
a referee there.
Yep, another
for
nice
quite
one.
a bit. So that's good.
Sure.
Very nice facility. Now,
Well, you can see me in here, though, Joe, in the Hall of Fame here.
in the Hall of Fame, Chris Santos.
Well, if you walk in there,
Yeah, you can
they
go
got
there.
it all against the wall.
My granddaughter goes here now.
Chance.
She's going to be a sophomore, Ava.
Nice.
And she plays volleyball and softball, so hopefully we'll be able to call some of her
Seen
matches and
head coach Rachel Lassie here.
Yep, Rachel, fine head coach.
Yep.
Has a great program developing
She was at New Bedford for a while under Neil Macedo, and then got the Dartmouth job, and she's been here ever since and really boosting their program.
And absolutely has. Yep. No ifs, ands, or buts. Julio Canuto de Pina on the service line for Brockton. There's Abdul Jared LaCour. I mean, absolutely.
Wow.
Annihilated one off the leg.
Off the chest.
Okay.
Right here.
I mean,
put that in the replay. Watch where this ends up. Watch 13. Ooh.
Oh, right up the upper chest.
Yes.
Right? I thought it was off the legs, but the upper chest, right above the lettering. And then he serves it into the net. Too much celebrating there for Abdul Jared.
Then he looked up, and I think he's saying the lights.
Yeah, he didn't look up at the lights when he hit that bomb earlier.
Nope. But he did on that serve.
It's a point apiece. On the outside for Gundy's. Brockton was there.
Gotta be over now. Nope.
Can't do it. So point to Voc-Tech. 2-1 Bears set number 4. Here's Lyric Delalue on the service line. And let's see here. Somebody in the net.
Yeah. They're saying it is Miranda, and that's interesting because he was up against Gomes. Had an easy advantage.
Yep. So point to Voc-Tech, 3-1.
Yeah, and if you're Brockton, Joe, you cannot let this get away early.
No. A little block there by Catillo Jr.
Good set.
Miranda tried to throw it down. Oh, what a reaction there by Catillo Jr. I'm surprised Brockton doesn't use the middle of the floor with that short ball more.
Yeah.
They don't have outside hitters, Chris. You would think that, especially Miranda's up front there, just use that ball that you set to your middle hitter that doesn't go up high, where he can just kind of throw it down. When they try to use their outside hitters, they struggle. That's Miranda. Again, can't put the point away.
Right here you can.
As Catillo Jr.
Right here you can.
Even though he didn't get it set perfectly, he's in the middle of the floor with his height, hits the ball downhill. Another kill for Luis Catillo Jr.
4 in a row.
15 kills for Luis.
A little deflated, Joe, remember, after that.
And
good play by Pham.
That was out. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you were ahead 12-4. You're thinking at 12-4, all we need to do is exchange points, and we're going to win the set. So you're already thinking we've got it. And then you lose that set. Very hard to come back from that. Catillo Jr. reacting there. Here's Brockton. Guaman.
Exchange that.
Then on the outside, Pham. Let's see.
It was out.
It was out, and it wasn't deflected.
Nope. He went for it.
I mean, if Brockton's Tommy Pham was 6 feet tall, he'd be very dangerous. At his height, he still is probably their hardest hitter. Here's Cody Raposa. Oh, not handled well there by Froyo.
Yep, and he's come off the bench, Joe, when he's had to in his rotation. He helped them out in set 3. He's trying again here in set 4. That's 1 point for him.
7-2.
Another good serve.
He's had some good serves here. And Voc-Tech racking up the points here. 8-2. So you mentioned it. You can't have a slow start if you're Brockton.
Kind of deflated from that.
Your spirits can be broken here quickly. And those kind of passes are not things we've seen from Brockton. Cotillo Jr. If he's set up in the middle of the floor like that with only one blocker up there.
Right, but remember what has to happen for Brockton, Joe. They need to win points. They can't allow Voc just to make mistakes. They don't have the offense to do that, to get back in this. They got to hope that they just play so much great defense and mistake after mistake for
that's been
Voc
the
to come back. And that's not going to happen right now.
And that's been the difference since it was 12-4. That 8-point run, it's as if Voc-Tech said, we gave you 8 points there. We got to stop that. And if we stop that, even if you play great defense, eventually we're gonna be able to finish off a point.
Right.
And you have a hard time finishing off any of the points, and they've struggled. They cannot finish a point. They've had multiple opportunities to finish points and
Watch
just
this one with Cotillo.
Can't do it. I mean, you got one blocker there. You're just hoping that it hits him.
Yep.
So 9-2. Voc-Tech in set number 4. They lead it 2-1, looking to wrap up this quarterfinal round match in the Division I South section of the MIAA Boys Volleyball Tournament. Here's Cody Raposa.
Another good serve. Pius gets it through Cotillo. At least kind of calm the damage down. See if they can now get on some kind of run. 3 from Raposa there on his serve. And they go to him.
Cody Raposa. Just bumped over by Cotillo Jr. Middle of the floor. And they block Pyers again.
Yeah, no offense.
No offense is
Can't
exactly
generate
the way to put it.
There's no one to say, get on my back. And I'm going to take as Lagunda had done in that set number 3.
That was Froyo keeping it alive. On the outside, Abdel Jared Lagura. Now it's just
well, listen, Joe, it's simple.
Steamrolled.
All you have to do is play smart volleyball. You make no mistakes, you're going to be just fine. You'll exchange points. That will be all night, and you'll win this one with no problem.
Right.
You got to eliminate the unforced errors, cannot have bad serves, all that stuff.
And since that bad stretch, they've eliminated them, Chris, to be frank with you. On the outside, another block. That time it was DePina who was blocked by Cotillo Jr.
Yep. And nothing against Brockton. That's what they have to do. They have to find a way to generate some points for themselves.
That's their style. They're limited by their style, by the ability of what they have. They don't have home run hitters. They got to try to singles you to death. And that's Cotillo Jr.
Ooh.
Brockton, great reaction again.
Sure do.
Abdel Jared Lagura, he was blocked.
And one of his harder hits.
He just drilled it, but it was right into Lucas Pyers. And so with the block, Pyers.
Hey, we were here at 12-4 in set number 3. It's 12-4 again, just reversed.
Let's see. Brockton with the ball and a chance to score here, but they've not done a great job. And then Long, it looks like.
Smart play there from Gomes, realizing and did a cut shot spin, swung his arm around and it went over and forced some offense for Brockton, which they could not generate.
DePina, it was out. Castillo Jr.
Ooh.
Oh, and a nice strike that time from Pyers.
Yeah, and I was going to go out, but I don't know if the ball was blocked first, and that's why Fagundes hit it.
Yeah, it was deflected.
Yep. But like I said, you want to exchange points there. That's fine.
You're up by 8. Ball on the outside. Abdel Jared Laguerre just absolutely crushing balls here. "15 kills unofficially for Abdel Jared Laguerre.
14-5 score. Put Gomes on the service line.
Alberto Gomes. On the outside, Miranda. Cut shot and had something on it. So a kill there for Miranda, who's been really gutting it out, Chris.
Sure has. Give him a lot of credit.
This is Julio Canuto de Pina serving.
Up by 8 is Voc. Off the net.
Outside, Abdel Jared Laguerre. He was blocked.
Back to him.
You're going to go back again.
Back to him.
Just bombs it. Was it good? Let's see. The official chair umpire says no. Floor official said out. Chair umpire said, I don't know. Either way, I'm not sure. Looks like this might be a do-over.
I don't think so.
No. They're going to give the point
Brockton.
to Brockton.
Down by 7.
It's Castillo Jr. on the outside. There's Abdel Jared. Into the net.
Don't make mistakes. Make Brockton earn it.
14-8. They've closed it back to within 6.
That's very important right here. This time of the match.
Go middle of the floor. Delalue could not put it away. Brockton to Miranda. Voc-Tech was there. Abdel Jared just plays it over. On the outside, Guaman, who hasn't had a kill in a long time, and then a nice reaction there by Miranda on an overpass and put it away quickly.
3 in a row.
Trying to inch back, down by 5. The Boxers now working on the serve of Julio de Pina off the tape. And then
no, he's gonna miss it.
Oh, let's see. No, they say it's out. Guaman, he had a spot.
He did.
But just a little too much.
Take 3 to give 1.
You can't do that.
And so Lagunda's saying, wait a minute. I'm getting away from the lights right here. You say that was better.
On the outside, Guaman into the net. So point to Voc-Tech, 16-9. Middle of the floor, tipped over by Pyers. Then here's Fagundes off the block. And a kill for Ethan Fagundes.
Yeah, not a lot from him today.
No,
but still not afraid to go at it.
And he's been solid.
Yep.
The stars obviously have been Laguerre and Castillo Jr., as you would expect.
Yep. Keep him honest with the inside. Keep him honest on the outside. And keep him honest with Castillo with the back set and the runaround to get some hits in there as well. So Voc keeping that up. That always helps.
Unofficially 16 kills for Luis Castillo Jr. and for Abdel Jared Laguerre, 15. So 31 kills from that 2-player dynamic duo. You have a total of 7 from Lyric Delalue and 4 from Ethan Fagundes. That's really where the offenses come from for Voc-Tech. And a name we should not forget is, of course, Chris, Alberto Gomes, who is a fine setter. He sets many of these balls in positions like, I mean, between Castillo Jr. and Laguerre, they just can hit the ball as hard as they can.
Yep.
You have to be set perfectly for that.
And I still want them to go hard at it, Joe. Remember, you have to make a clean block. Might as well go after it.
Wyman could not put it away. On the outside for Gundies. Brockton was there. Middle of the floor. On the outside. For Gundies. For Gundies, one of his best strikes here this evening.
3 now.
Voc-Tech, 18-9. Bears are looking to finish this off.
Good block.
Ooh,
nice play.
Brockton was there. Great dig.
Yep.
Boxers, just battlers. Yeah, and I've been surprised that they haven't used that more, Chris. That short ball where it's very difficult to block. You can't strike it as hard, but when you've got someone in the middle of the floor like Miranda, that's the ball you really, if you're Brockton, you can put away. Off the tape, Castillo Jr. was there.
Speaking of put-aways.
Just hammering one there, middle of the floor, Lyric Delalue. We have seen teams in the past that do not have great outside hitting, just do it in the middle. Whether it's boys or girls volleyball.
Well, 6 away from moving on. And Delalue with a nice serve.
A lot of dipping action. Castillo Jr. Did he go over the net, though?
Believe he did.
Yep, point to Brockton. What a hammer there from Castillo Jr. Brockton had a dig on it, Chris. It they just couldn't get the right kind of angle. It played off the net.
That should read 20-11, not 19-12.
Yeah, we have a 2011. Scoreboard has a 19-12.
I think that's wrong.
Let's see. Now the scoreboard showing 2012.
Right. I think it's 2011, but that's all right.
Right now, it's all right. Here we go. Middle of the floor. That's Laguerre on the outside for Gundies. Brockton was there. Miranda. Pham tried to just go over the blockers, but Brockton. Voc-Tech was there. And then Castillo Jr. was set up middle of the floor. Just had an outstanding match. 18 kills, Luis Castillo Jr. Scoreboard here has a 21-12.
That's all right. They try to do what you said, Joe, but Castillo was ready for it, and then he puts it in where they're not.
Yep, they didn't set it up. They tried on that second ball to just play it over quickly. And the point to Voc-Tech, another one for Castillo Jr. 3 points away from the match. Cody Raposa, that time well long.
Well, they moved it up to 13, so that's what they got it at.
Maybe we have it wrong, but
I don't
think
thought we were on it.
Yep. Be interesting as long as it doesn't come into play. There was a block by Castillo Jr.
Woo! And Fagundes. I think Fagundes more. Castillo seemed like he turned. But Fagundes hung tough. And 2 points away from moving on to the semis and take on the #1 seed, Needham.
Middle of the floor. And Pyers just try to tip, could not. Then Voc-Tech's Castillo Jr., who's had an outstanding match. then for goodness into the bottom of the tape on match point. Fortunately, there's a big spread there. Whether it's 24-14 or 24-13, either way, big spread. You would need an extensive run here from Tommy Pham. Point to Brockton. Pham has a great serve, but he serves in the middle every time, Chris.
Yep.
I would be changing that up. His serve is so consistent and so good, but watch, every time, middle of the floor.
Right here is where you want it, right here.
Castillo Jr. off the blocker. Brockton was there, not giving up yet. And then a point to the Boxers.
Slow down, relax yourself, think, take a breath. Very, very, I want to be the one to put it away. I want to be the one that wins it. Got to make sure.
There's that serve from Pham.
There you go.
Legure. Oh, Brockton was there. Quammen just lunging forward. Castillo Jr., he was blocked.
Good block.
Brockton just staying alive here.
As they do, all set. That's trouble.
Legure just punching it
That's
over.
all they could do.
Byers could not put it away. That was Stussy. And then Brockton answering back.
What a play by Raposa.
He got there on a ball that he had to lunge for with one hand.
Put it away,
What a
Castillo.
point, Castillo Jr.
Nope.
Brockton was there.
Got to put a big gun right now to Lagunda.
Legure.
Yeah.
Oh, Brockton trying to be there,
Wow,
and they
there
are
they
there. Can they get it over? No, that's it.
Wow.
What a point to end it off. Appropriate that it ended that way, Chris.
How about Cody Raposa with that dig that he made there, Joe? That was impressive.
So officially, we're going to have to say the scoreboard has it 25-16, so we have to go with the official score. We'll adjust our scoreboard.
I don't know if we have that highlight again, but Raposa's dig, what a save that was to put that back. Unbelievable. Impressive.
Yeah, and that last point, fitting that even though Brockton went down, they just battled in that last point to stay alive. And again, what overall just a great
see
match.
The one with Raposa.
I don't know how.
Now see how he backed up. Now watch him come right here. Look at that
Just
with the
lunging
left hand,
with the
Joe.
left hand, got it, just punched it over.
That was impressive.
That point had many plays like that. And then Castillo Jr., just a tip. Look at that one.
Yep. Wow.
And Brockton kept it alive there. That was just a great final point. And then finally Legure. And look, just the reactions here. And then they could not
just a little too
play
high.
It back too much into the rafters, and it ricocheted down too quickly. And so the point to Voc-Tech, and they wrap it up in 4 sets by scores of 28-26 Brockton, 25-19 Voc-Tech, 25-22 Voc-Tech, and in set number 4, 25-16, the Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech Bears. The number 4 seed in the South section advancing to take on the Needham Rockets, Chris. The number 1 seed, you mentioned, undefeated on the season. They'll meet Needham in Needham on Saturday.
Well, they got a lot of depth, Joe, as you know. Okay, and if you can get some good passing, try to eliminate some of the mistakes. We saw it, obviously, in set number 1, but we also saw a good defensive team that puts you under the pressure, makes good blocks, makes you now go for really tough angles down the lines. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But you definitely have to get a group of players. You got to keep Fagundis around. Legure, obviously. Castillo, obviously. Adin Delalue got themselves a nice little run, Joe. Hey, you're going up against the number 1 seed. Anything can happen.
Yeah, to advance as you get into the tournament, to keep on advancing, Chris, you need to be able to be multidimensional. But one key is you need to be able to win points yourself.
Right.
So Brockton was getting toward the end of being able to advance in the tournament.
Right.
They might have been able to get past it today, but doubtful that they would have gotten past Needham. Voc-Tech has a chance. They have the famous puncher's chance.
Sure.
You've lost a few, obviously. You don't have the same record. You're not undefeated, but you have a puncher's chance because you have punchers.
Yeah, and remember what happened too, though, Joe. You lost most of those matches at the beginning of the season when they didn't have some players there. So now that they got them back, yeah, they did lose to Brockton. It was a tough one, and you feel out process, and you go from there. So, it is what it is, and I'm sure they'll be ready for it. Richie Gomes will have them ready.
And if you play like you did after that point in set number 3, when it was 12-4, it was like enough.
Yep.
And they just kept on, we're going to hammer at you, but you know what? You block us, fine,
yeah,
we'll do it again.
I'd like to get Richie Gomes over here and ask him that question, Joe. What changed in his eyes when it was 12-4 and they were down 8? What made them come back, and how they pulled it off?
Yeah, it was just an outstanding effort from Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech. From that point on, down 12-4 in set 3, then wrapping that set up 25-22. So they scored the next 20 of their 21 points that they scored. Brockton was only able to answer with 10.
Yep.
That'll do it from Dartmouth High. And we're here at the Carlin Lynch Center. And it was just an outstanding match between Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech and Brockton. In 4 sets, the Bears win it. 28-26 Brockton in set 1, 25-19 Voc-Tech in set 2, 25-22 the Bears in set 3, and then set 4, again, Voc-Tech 25-16. They take it 3-1, advance to the semifinals of the South Section Tournament against Needham on Saturday. For Chris Santos, all of our staff here at the New Bedford Cable Network, I'm Joe Cabral. Thanks for joining us this evening, and have a good night, everyone.